This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and does not constitute financial advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor. Always do your own research and consult a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. You got the raise. You paid off the debt. Maybe you even hit the number, the one you told yourself would finally make you feel okay. And then, nothing changed. That quiet feeling of not enough came back, almost immediately. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, you're not ungrateful, and you're definitely not alone. You're experiencing one of the most well-documented psychological phenomena in behavioral economics, and understanding it might be the most valuable financial education you ever get. In 1974, an economist named Richard Easterlin published a landmark study. He analyzed decades of data from dozens of countries. His question was simple: does more money make people happier? The answer shocked him. Beyond a certain income threshold, more money had almost zero effect on long-term happiness. Countries that got dramatically richer over 25 years reported the same levels of life satisfaction as before. This became known as the Easterlin paradox, and it raises an uncomfortable question. If money doesn't make us happier in the long run, why does it feel like it will? Your brain has a feature, or maybe it's a bug, depends how you look at it. It's called hedonic adaptation, and it means your brain resets to a baseline level of satisfaction no matter what happens to you. Lottery winners, accident survivors, millionaires, people who lost everything. Within 12 to 18 months, almost all of them returned to roughly the same level of happiness they had before. Think about the last thing you bought that you had to have. The car, the apartment upgrade, the new phone. Remember how good it felt for the first few weeks? And then, it just became normal, background noise. That's hedonic adaptation. Your brain recalibrates. The new thing becomes the baseline. And suddenly, you need the next thing to feel the same way. This isn't a character flaw, it's a survival mechanism. Humans evolved to keep wanting more, to keep striving, because contentment can be dangerous in the wild. But in a world of infinite consumption, it becomes a trap. Here's where it gets worse. We don't measure wealth in absolute terms. We measure it in relative terms. Psychologist Leon Festinger called this social comparison theory. Humans instinctively benchmark themselves against the people around them. And for most of human history, that group was small. Your village, your neighborhood, maybe 150 people. Now, your comparison group is every highlight reel on the internet. Someone's yacht vacation, someone's new house, someone's stock portfolio, all day, every day. Studies show that the higher your income, the wealthier the people you tend to compare yourself to. A person earning $80,000 a year used to feel comfortable. Now they compare themselves to $300,000 earners on LinkedIn. A person earning $500,000 compares themselves to billionaires on Twitter. The finish line keeps moving. Not because your goals change, but because your reference point does. Harvard psychologist Tal Ben-Shahar gave this a name: the arrival fallacy. It's the belief that when you arrive at a certain goal, the income, the net worth, the title, you'll finally feel okay. But here's what actually happens when you arrive. Two things. First, you feel a brief rush of satisfaction. Genuine. Real. Earned. And then, almost immediately, a new goal appears. A new horizon. A new number. Ben-Shahar found that the most psychologically vulnerable moment in any achievement cycle is right after success, not before. Because before, you have hope. After, you have reality. And if your identity is built entirely around achieving, reality can feel hollow. First, stop optimizing for the feeling of enough. That feeling was never designed to be permanent. Your brain won't let it be. Instead, here's what the research actually supports. 1. Spend on experiences, not things. Experiences are harder to adapt to. You can't look at a memory and get used to it the way you get used to a couch. Studies consistently show experience spending produces longer-lasting satisfaction than material purchases. 2. Deliberately slow down acquisition. Delaying purchases actually increases long-term enjoyment. The anticipation phase produces more total happiness than the ownership phase for most people. 3. Practice deliberate gratitude with specificity. Not vague gratitude. Specific gratitude. I'm grateful I can pay my rent without anxiety activates entirely different neural pathways than I'm grateful for my life. 4. Redefine your comparison group intentionally. This is the hardest one. But actively comparing yourself to where you were 3 years ago instead of where someone else is today is one of the highest ROI mental habits you can build. So what do you actually do with all of this? First, set a good enough threshold for the things that don't matter. Your car gets you there. Your phone works. Not everything needs an upgrade. Save the pursuit of better for the things that genuinely move your life forward. Second, practice what psychologists call savoring. Once a week, write down one thing you have now that you desperately wanted 2 years ago. Your brain is wired to skip past wins and lock on to what's missing. Savoring short-circuits that. And third, stop measuring yourself against people online. Their highlight reel is not their life. The comparison is fake. The finish line you're chasing doesn't exist. The goal isn't to stop wanting more. It's to stop letting the wanting make you miserable in the meantime. You're not broken. You're just running software that was never updated. That's the broke thinking, and now you know how to rewrite it. The feeling that you don't have enough isn't a sign that you need more. It's a sign that you're human. Understanding that, really understanding it, is the first step to actually building a relationship with money that works. If this helped you think differently today, subscribe to Broke Thinking. We break down the psychology of money every week, the thinking patterns that keep people broke, and how to fix them. See you in the next one.